You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing go meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode of this Footy Fantasy podcast. Today, well, we might have some spicy conversation, but let me introduce my brothers here. Let's start with Mr. Rosenoir's alter ego, Asher. You all right, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I mean, is it Chelsea? Is the life of a Chelsea fan? You know.
Yeah, this one that you are doing the Rosenoir alter ego. I mean, brother, this identity crisis is crazy. Anyway, well, we're gonna let's move on to Michael. I think this is my first time on a podcast with Michael.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. This is it. I wish it was under more spicy circumstances, aka the Cunha Bruno dance. But you're welcome to today's podcast. Nice to meet you. How's it going? You all right?
Wonderful, man. Can't complain. Like, it's like good times. Like, these are great times we're living in.
Really? Wow. You're very optimistic. Like, you're one of the few Arsenal fans out there that might be in like the best, like a better mood.
Oh, if you thought I was gonna come here to like sob story, you got the wrong Gunner, man. That's
yeah. Hey, look, I don't, brother. I want you to spread your chest, bro. Spread your chest as big as they come. So I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. All right, man. Like Raji, you good, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
You are?
Yeah, always good to see you. Always good to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I'm always good. We've gone through everything with Newcastle. Newcastle is a roller coaster, so we've enjoyed many highs, and we're now on the downslope. So
yeah.
Next year we can win the Premier League, and then we'll get relegated. Season after.
We got jokes. Nice.
Yeah, Newcastle, man. Newcastle looking more like an old mansion now, bro. Like there's not. We'll get to that.
We are where Manchester United were last season. We're in transition.
Yeah.
So let's calm down.
Man, you apologize. They made a European final last year, so one of these things is not like the other. But we can save that for later.
And they lost in the European final, so what's the point?
Things, but at least they got there.
Us too. We got to the Carabao Cup final and we won. So I'm happy with that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was happy for you on that day, genuinely.
I don't think you were. You don't seem to remember it. So it's push us down.
I certainly wasn't rooting for Liverpool that day, and I'm sure
that's the reason you were happy that Liverpool did not win, not because Newcastle won. So I thank you for setting the record straight.
I feel like Asher and I need to leave the room for these two.
Now we're good. We're good.
He's just salty about yesterday.
How am I salty? I've not even said anything. I've not said anything. Okay, we'll talk about the Newcastle Arsenal game.
How about we fly into the Newcastle review game? The Newcastle
let's
game.
Just go into it.
Yeah. Let's just let me do some housekeeping real quick. I'm gonna let y'all fatten a little bit. But Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. On YouTube, we're at Footy Fantasy. Twitter, it's Footy AD Fantasy. And on Instagram, it is at Fantasy Footy. We do have like short clips of these shows. I think EJ uploads those like 24 to 48 hours after today. So if you can't catch a real show, always feel free to catch the Cliff Notes version. And if you enjoy the theme music that played in the intro, our boy Soji made it. His handle is SJ Music. Feel free to give the guy a follow. Hit him up for any music production requests that you may have. So without further ado, like these guys already gave us some sort of preview of what this review was going to be like. Arsenal Newcastle yesterday. I was watching it. I had like, one eye on it. I wasn't too invested in it, especially as soon as Arsenal scored. I was like, it didn't look like there was much excitement in that game. But I'm gonna start with Raji. What did you expect going into the game? Did you expect like I wouldn't say your team folded. I don't think your team folded by any means.
Yeah, they folded.
It just wasn't a your team just didn't have the vigor and the energy to put Arsenal where we kind of wanted you guys to put them. But talk to me about the game.
First of all, I think that everybody should stop putting their own expectations on Newcastle. I got a couple of messages from people saying, "Hey, now is your chance to beat them." Like Newcastle is not playing for you. Newcastle is playing for itself. And in reality, this has been an inward-looking season, right? Mm-hmm. We've been particularly poor throughout this whole Premiership season.
Inward-looking. Please describe what that means. Like, is this some sort of self-reflection?
I think mostly in the attacking position, and I think that our manager has second-guessed everything too. I don't think our manager knows exactly what he wants to do. So, you saw that we're using William Osula as our main striker, and everybody in Newcastle has been asking, like, what the hell is what about our homeboy Walter Mada?
Yes.
Since they've taken Walter Mada out, our team has degraded significantly. Yes. Put him in. Let us have. They put him in yesterday. The guy created something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Walter Mada is the missing block in our team. We've had injuries. This is our 5th loss in a row. Newcastle is not doing well. I went to watch Newcastle against Everton a few weeks ago, and that was a shambolic game. Newcastle has been suffering inwards. So if anybody expected that Newcastle was going to go to Arsenal and beat them, they had another thing coming. Having said that, I don't think that game was as bad as people are making it. I don't think Newcastle even played badly. I think that Newcastle controlled the midfield. Newcastle had more shots. And you could tell from the way the apprehensive stadium was, Newcastle controlled most of that game. Outside of that first 10 minutes, within the first 20 seconds, Newcastle had a chance. Then Arsenal scores from a set piece. The biggest problem I had was that they could have dealt with that set piece because they did that set piece 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And nobody took a gumption and said, let's stop it.
Yeah.
All through this game, the biggest problem has always been Newcastle is toothless in attack. And needless to say, you'll be surprised that I'm going to say this. I miss Alexander Isak.
Hey, brother.
I miss Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak would have taken one of those chances. Let's be fair. Let's be frank. And I'm sad that he's gone. But I was always going to be angry with Alexander Isak for one season. After the end of this season, I don't care what happens to him. But this season, I'm just going to keep on hating on him. I think Newcastle controlled that game. I'm more convinced. I mean, when did I predict this? I predicted this in February, at the end of February, that Arsenal was not going to win this season. 12 points ahead of Manchester City at that point. In March, after March, I came for another episode, and people were talking about how Arsenal was 8 points ahead. And I said, I predicted this in February. Arsenal is not going to win the season. And the most interesting thing for me was that stadium. Arsenal were in the lead, and the stadium was anxious as hell. At the end of it, people were turning on the players. They were like, whoa! And they were groaning, growls, greets. Everything was going on in that stadium. And look at how Michael, my very good friend of 28 years, I come into the room and he starts to snap at me. There has to be projection here. It has to be anxiety from that whole stadium snapping back at me. So, I understand.
Raji.
They always, wait, before they finish, they always want to bite at the little man. That's what they want to do. It's not Newcastle that is your problem. It's your incompetence as Arsenal that is your problem. So how can you drop 12 points?
Well,
how can you drop 12
Raji,
points?
we'll get to that point. There's a whole segment.
Can I respond, please? I let you talk.
Hold on. Raji, we'll get to that whole. We have a separate segment to discuss that. Michael, please tell me about your thoughts about yesterday's game.
Okay,
if you want to fire back at some of what Raji said, please go ahead.
There's no need to fire back. I mean, he did say one thing. One thing he did get correct is that Newcastle this season is like much lower than Arsenal in the totem pole. And we had one job, which was to get 3 points, and we did. Yeah. Essentially, we have through the season, we don't need to win. If we do what we did yesterday, we do that every game throughout the season, then it's the best season of any of our lives. So I'm not going to diminish the fact that we've been in not good form. I understand the truth. Like our form in 2026 has been unacceptable, not acceptable, but nevertheless, we are on top of the league. And we are in the Champions League semi-finals back-to-back, which is not something it's not a common accomplishment. So it's possible to acknowledge the fact that we've had some hiccups this calendar year, while also looking at the bigger picture. We are on top of the league, and if we just win a few more wins, of course there's the whole goal difference shootout thing, which we can get back to. But we're coming off a bad patch of form, which every team goes through, and all we needed to do yesterday was win, and we did. Yeah. So of course there were nerves. We fans are nervous. We are scared because we, as he said, like a 9-point gap has become 3 or 0 and now 3 points. So the truth is the truth. Manchester City had a really great vein of form in the past few months because they were able to add stalwarts like Guehi and Semenyo mid-season, which is not just luxury. Every club has the opportunity to. So they are. Hard at our necks, and we're not taking it for granted. But like I said, we are on top of the league and we're in Champions League semi-final. Mm-hmm. Any of those competitions, like 3 wins in one or 5 wins in the other, and it's the best year of our lives. So yesterday was edgy because it's the Premier League, but we did what we needed to do. We understood the assignment, get 3 points, and once we scored early in the game, all we needed to do was just keep it conservative, walk over with 3 points, which we did. So.
I just have a quick question.
No. Before we even go to that, you said I only got one thing wrong, but you mentioned multiple things that I got right.
You got one thing right in that.
Okay, you said I only had one thing right, but you said multiple things that I said. What was the thing what did I get wrong from what I said?
Arsenal are not going to win the league, which is
we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Have we won?
No, but again, I was talking like one thing you did get right.
I mean, you guys got to the Cali Cup final and you couldn't win.
Anything short of 3 points would have been an absolute disaster. And once we got our 3 points in, once we got our goal in the first 10 minutes, all we needed to do was just see the game out, which we did.
And I said that the game was very wonderful.
So the Gimerez, 2 players I would love to see at the Arsenal at some point in the near future.
You can see him there when it comes to playing.
We got our 3 points, and that's all that matters. I mean, one if not both of those guys are leaving this summer, unless you're lying to yourself, and I hope one of them.
Whoa! Which one? No. Before
boys,
you said I said many things wrong. What did I say?
Boys, time out, gentlemen. Gentlemen, I
I'm not angry. I just want I don't want Michael to tell me because I said many things correct. And he tried to diminish all the points I made by saying I only said one thing correct.
The one thing you said that was correct is that Arsenal were the favorites yesterday. Arsenal are the better team.
I didn't even say that one, too.
And we're expected to get.
I didn't say that one.
Everything you said was some kind of like backhanded compliment at best, or some kind of trying to talk about us as we are not a good team.
You are this thing. You are very anxious.
We are the best team in England by any objective measure.
Okay.
We are on top of
you are best.
I have a question. And I want to bring Asher in here, right? I want to know, and I want Asher to speak first, and then Michael, I want you to chime in as well. But I want to know how Arsenal fans should feel, Asher, about. It looks like the front line is still very, very unsettled. Like a Premier League winning team, right? I should be able to look at them and tell them that and determine this is the goal scorer. This is what the front line looks like. This is what I expect in terms of output from their front line. It looks like the Arsenal front line, they are still always guessing as to who's starting in center forward. Is it Havertz or is it what's his face? Yokozuna, right? Is it are they playing Martinelli on the left wing or are they playing Eze on the left wing? Like, what's up with Odegaard? He's the captain, but not exactly. So, like, tell me what you think about that, Asher. Like, they're in top. Yes, they're like champions elect. But we don't know who they are. Identity-wise, I don't know what they are.
So that's been my problem with Arsenal all season. So just to give an example, right? When City won the league, we knew De Bruyne would be the main architect of the play. Yeah. Haaland would be in there somewhere. Bernardo Silva, Mahrez. You knew that pattern of play. You knew how they were going to beat you. We don't know how Arsenal beats people. Well, we do. Set pieces.
Yeah.
Set pieces. That's literally your only style. It's like when the Arsenal team is named, I can't sit there and say, okay, Eze is going to always try and find Havertz or try and find Saka or try and find Madueke and they're going to do this 1-2 and score. It's almost chaotic. Right? Because when you guys played us, we were terrible. Okay, Chelsea has been terrible for half the season. And at some points of the game, it was almost like a yo-yo. And it's like, why are you doing a yo-yo with the team that's terrible? And
they weren't even doing yo-yo with Newcastle. They were doing ho-ho with us.
Okay, can I
hold on. Let me land. Okay. Havertz, to us, Havertz was not a striker. He wasn't a midfielder. He wasn't a defender. He wasn't a goalkeeper. What the hell was he? He came to Arsenal, and it's the same problem. He's not a striker. He's not a midfielder. You don't know what it is. But now he's your best striker, and you spent 60 million?
Yeah.
You spent 60 million on a guy from
60 million down the drain.
And you're still starting someone we don't know what his position is. He's not number 10. He's not. That's your best striker. So, yeah, I don't know.
The unpredictability is weird. Yeah,
you don't have the best part. Let's put that aside. You don't have the best squad. You don't have the best play.
No. Michael, is it one of those things where, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, of course, I don't know what it feels like to be you right now, but is it one of those things where you're just like, you know what, by hook or by crook, just deliver me trophies, let me show armpits. I don't care what you do, Arteta, just give me that Premier League.
Okay, well, first thing I'll say is that, first of all, injuries happen to every team, right? Injuries are not an excuse. That's why you build a deep squad, right? You want to make sure that when you're injured, you can have people who can step in. And that was the goal last summer. We felt like we have a good first 11 who've fallen short. We have a backup squad that will come in and fill in. And that was what we set out to do last year. So it's not an excuse. That being said, our four best attacking players at the Arsenal are Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Eberechi Eze. I don't think that's controversial. Those four players have not shared the field one minute this season. Again, injuries happen to everybody.
How do we say they're the best four attackers if you've not seen them?
Yeah.
If we're putting our best players, our best attackers out there,
the best individual footballers.
in terms of attacking players, attacking talent, if we put our best at our first 11, that's our first front four, right? That's our front four is Havertz up front, Odegaard behind him, and then Eze and Saka on either wing. That's our best lineup.
Okay.
But we have not had a chance to play that lineup once this season. Again, injuries happen to everybody. So when you're injured, your only job is to somehow, by hook or by crook, get the 3 points, which more often than not we've done this year. Despite missing our best players, we somehow get a set piece and score. And then we're like, oh, Arsenal are boring. Arsenal are... What are we supposed to do? Like,
But Michael, our
best players... Yesterday, when we had our best players on the field for about 30 minutes, we looked as potent going forward as we've looked in months, and then Kai Havertz gets hurt, which is a problem, and then Gyökeres comes in, and then we are playing again, not looking. So I mean, I acknowledge that we are not playing scintillating champagne football, but we have injuries. Despite the fact we have injuries, we are still somehow managing to grind out results, and then we get criticized for it because we are not entertaining. Like, if you want to get entertained, go watch Dancing with the Stars. All we want to do is get 3 points.
Michael, let me ask you a question real quick. You said Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, and Eze. What's Saka's contributions when he's played this year?
Kicking the ball into the goal kick.
Saka is not having the best
and
season.
pulling up his socks.
What we're not going to do is try to diminish the player Bukayo Saka is what he's done over the past 4 years.
No, we're not talking about the past 4 years.
You said this season, though. You said this season. You said this season.
He's not having a good season because he's not healthy.
Okay,
Saka showed the English squad and Tuchel was like, oh, hell no, you need to rest for 2 months because Arteta is overplaying you. Arteta is overplaying Saka because he has nobody else. But Tuchel was like, we need to play once World Cup. If Saka keeps playing, he is going
to... So Arsenal is so low that the England manager can tell
forces Arsenal to sit out Saka for a few months because they need him in the summer. It's not an excuse, just talking about facts.
Arsenal should sacrifice their... No. Arsenal should sacrifice their ambitions, their trophy ambitions, because the England manager wants to play in the World Cup. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying. I mean, it's. I mean, you could look at the paper trail. Like our players show up, Rice and Saka show up at the England camp, and Tommy Tuchel was like, "Oh, this is not okay." And then, like, since then, Saka had played every game. Since then, Saka just came off the bench yesterday. I'm not saying he told Arteta how to choose his team. But it's obvious that based on what England standards, they were like, we need these players to be healthy for the World Cup. So
I also want to talk about this point too, because when you stated the argument, you said that Arsenal has been the best team in the Premiership by all measures.
Because
I'm confused.
You have the most points.
You're not. This is a mirage. You're a mirage first. Because Manchester has a game in hand. Manchester City has a game in hand.
Yeah, let
if they win the game, they go above.
Let them win it. Until they win it.
So is that so will your tone change next week? So did your tone change last week? When were you still holding the same position that Arsenal was the best team in the league last week?
I'm not saying we're the best. Manchester City have better attacking players than we do. I'm not an idiot.
No. Michael, you said Arsenal is the best team in the Premier League
because we have the most points. That's how it's always been.
So during the week when they beat Burnley, when Man City beat Burnley, did you have the most points and were you still the best team in the Premier League?
Well, we were even on points. So
you were not the best team as of Wednesday.
Well, I guess we were. I mean, they were technically above us, but like we say, right now, they have a game in hand. A bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. We've won our game in hand. Let them win theirs. If they win it and score 2,
So my question is: as of Wednesday, when the goal went in against Burnley, was Arsenal still the best team in the league?
Well, Manchester City were above us. I thought they were going to.
No, they were not. So they were not the best team in the league.
Well, no, they were not. But then I'm not now. Yeah. Again.
Okay. All right. So I just want to make it clear. On Wednesday, Arsenal was not the best team in the league, but today, Sunday, Arsenal is the best team in the league. Got it.
Yes, because the league table never lies.
I want to say this. If we come 17th and we don't win any trophy, and we almost get relegated, we would have the same amount of achievement as Arsenal this season. If they win nothing.
It's fine. I'm not going to ask you this. It's okay.
Just to be clear.
Coming second 4 years in a row. Y'all want to talk like it's bullshit. It's not. I mean, we didn't win.
Arsenal is the most memorable second base team in the world.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Most memorable team that comes second. No other team. Every team that comes second, everybody forgets them. But Arsenal always comes second, and they always make it seem like it's an achievement.
Talking about the Pochettino team from 10 years ago that came second once. People will talk about them like, oh, Spurs.
Who's talking about them? I've not heard anybody talking about them.
Michael,
did you
did
you hear anybody talking about them yesterday? I heard people talking about Arsenal second.
Let's move on.
Several things can be true at once. Which is what frustrates me. Like, if Arsenal missed out on Arsenal's form in 2026 has been garbage from January through March. That's objectively true. But I mean, if Arsenal missed out on the league this year, like coming second 4 years in a row, it sucks as a fan. But on the other hand, it's still an objectively good accomplishment compared to everybody else. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Coming second 4 years in a row, in top 2 4 years in a row, is an objectively. It's not something you fire a manager. It's like it's frustrating, but it's still a good accomplishment compared to what everybody else.
Why would you want to come second if you're the best team?
I don't want that. If that happens, that's the worst case scenario, right? It's like, yeah, give us just us a little bit.
Look at and their manager is the reason that all of this
who does that? Nobody does. Yeah, I get it that the trophies are what matters. I'm not disputing that, but back-to-back semifinals plus 4 top 2s finishes in a row, you can't pretend that like's trash. You can't pretend that's trash.
Michael.
Well, I was talking to some Arsenal fans and they were telling me that look, Arsenal's still on for the quadruple. And that, you know, if Arsenal comes second this season, that'll be 4 seconds in a row. So that's a quadruple right there. Let's move on to talk about.
That's a bike quadruple.
Nobody has done it before. Nobody has come forth.
Exactly. So that's your trophy. That's your quadruple.
It's not what I want. It's not what I want.
It's a bike quadruple.
Don't diminish coming top 2. That level of consistency, right? Especially, I don't want to talk the City mid-season. They bought Mamouche, they bought Kusanov, and then like, oh, we don't want that. We're bringing in this guy. We're bringing in like Semenyo Gehi. I mean, all power to them, but that's who we are dealing with. Yeah. Again, it's objectively what's happening. But
also, Michael Arteta was the same person who bought 8 defenders when he needed strikers. Man bought hair shampoo model Calafiori when he needed a sensible. But anyway, let me take comments. We have to. I'm gonna put a pin in this. We're gonna move on. Let me take comments real quick. Aya's welcoming the gentleman. He goes 2 friends and foes, Raji and Michael. Oh yeah, best friends and best foes. Battle Axe 77 goes, yes, Arsenal have been the best team in the league all season. Man City was only ahead of Arsenal in goals scored. Michael is statistically correct. Man City edging it now does not negate facts.
I'm sorry. You cannot say you're the best season when the season is not over. You only determine who the best season
trash until January, right? Why are we not forgetting? City were trash until January. Then they brought in Semenyo and Gay and go.
We were doing well. We were doing well before January. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about
at least we were in the top 10. Now all of a sudden we are 14th. So me too, I should be remembering the time when we were in the top 10.
We're talking the whole season, right? Manchester City had a bad run.
You can't be talking the whole season and be talking half the season. Let's wait till the end of the season and determine.
Arsenal
is not winning the league.
Why does everybody keep twerking for City? Like City winning, like
I don't twerk for City.
Boys, let's move on.
I'm not twerking for City. I am anti-Arsenal.
City are fucking cheats, and like they win what
they
win.
No, Michael, you need to understand. Michael, you need to understand something. I'm gonna move on, but you need to understand something. Nobody here is a City fan, right? We just dislike Arsenal so much that we'd rather see City win. That's all. That's it. Now let's move on. Let's move on. We're gonna move on to talk about Chelsea. We're
like the normal, doing it for the people to show that a normal club that does.
Don't worry, we don't want the people to win.
No, we don't want good people. We don't want normal people to win. We want corruption. Yes, we want corruption to keep winning. Yes, we want corruption to keep winning. Yes, we want corruption to keep winning. Yes.
Situation like when I see Manchester, I see Manchester United fans winning for City, and I'm like,
yeah, Michael. That's fine. That's okay. Yes, we'll root for them. Yeah,
you know what? Arsenal fans need to go and look inwards. Go and figure out what this toxicity is.
The dominant team of the era. City stole so much from them, and I still see Liverpool fans twerking for them. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, all we did was just try to be normal, try and be a normal.
But I could have sworn. You know what? I could have sworn, Raji, I could have sworn last season that the same Arsenal fans were rooting for Tottenham when Tottenham was playing against Manchester City, right? Yeah. The same Arsenal fans. So now you want to get on your mountain and talk about other rival fans hating on Arsenal. My brother, this is how football goes. You will win the quadruple of seconds. You will win the quadruple of seconds, and you will have your trophy. That's fine. That's fine. Arsenal is that bridesmaid in a wedding that is louder than the bride. That is okay. That is fine.
City has stolen so much from your team. City has stolen so much from your literally.
That's fine. They're giving us money too.
Like, I don't want to talk about the one from 2 times or whatnot. City has literally just like 4 or 5 years in a row, and it's like, yeah, y'all are like, oh, City win. Like, yo, I'm gonna twerk for City. I'm gonna be a little simp.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'll twerk. That's fine. I'll twerk for City. Give me play some Megan Thee Stallion. I'll twerk like Megan. That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's talk.
Okay, no. I want to say this last thing. Arsenal fans should go and look inwards and figure out why everybody hates them.
Exactly.
Go and
look jealousy. Inwards. It's freaking jealousy. Nothing more than jealousy
of what? Coming second.
What jealous of what, my brother? Jealous of what, my brother?
It's gonna like ask me what have we been doing all this time for Arsenal to win it? So don't try to like.
Jealous of what?
Your team suck.
Let's move on.
We've spent way too much time discussing this thing. Let's move on to Asher's team, right? Because, like it or not, Chelsea is out here. I don't know what's going on. I know they won today against Leeds. But Asher, what really went wrong for Rosenoir, and who fixes this? And I want you to talk about this in light of the fact that everybody and their mother saw this coming. We saw this train derailment from a mile away. As soon as you put in this Rosenoir guy in charge, right? We knew how this was gonna end. So, what's going on, bro? How are you feeling? First of all, I think you look like you're happy.
So, I'm in this weird space, right? Where I'm in this weird space where if we don't qualify for any European competition, I'm not mad. And it sucks to say that because the ownership loses out on money.
You are world champions, bro.
I know, but the owners will lose out on money. There's something that came about their whole finances, and we need Champions League so they can balance their books. So if we don't make Europe, even if we make Conference League or Europa, they lose money. If we make Champions League, they're fine. But if we win an FA Cup and Arsenal doesn't win a trophy, they have to deactivate from the page. so that's where I am. I'm like, if you win,
because you can still win an FA Cup.
You can still win an FA Cup, right? Which is more than Arsenal would have achieved this season if they lose the Premier League.
Can I ask Michael a question?
No one has won more.
Can I ask Michael a question?
No, Raji, I don't want us to dive into another Arsenal conversation. I don't want us to dive into another Arsenal.
Anybody else in history, and nobody cares when we win it. Then whenever anybody
when Chelsea plays Manchester City in the FA Cup final, will Arsenal be twerking for Manchester City?
I don't care. It's the freaking FA Cup. It's like beneath me. The FA Cup is like Europa. Like I really don't care who wins.
It's
whoa, you said the FA Cup is beneath you.
Arsene Wenger.
Michael, you said the FA Cup is beneath you.
I'm saying no, it's not. I'm saying this year, it's not what I'm worried about. Whoever wins doesn't affect my life in the slightest. Arsenal have won more FA Cups than any other team in history.
Man deserves a red card for that. You said the FA Cup is beneath you. Brother, you said the FA Cup is beneath you. You haven't shown armpits. You haven't shown armpits, bro. You have no deodorant. You can't show your armpits. And you say the FA Cup is beneath you. Brother, you should be fighting for a Conference League, bro. You should be fighting for Europa League.
Kwame, Mikel Arteta won an FA Cup in his first year, right? Did he
oh my God, no. We're not doing that. We're not talking about that.
Nobody gives us credit when we win it, so I don't care if anybody else wins it.
Nah, bro. Nah, get out of here, bro.
You win on top of something else nice, but it's just Europa. It doesn't mean anything.
Michael, Arteta's only trophy is because Lampard was, I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't know if you remember that game.
It wasn't even an Arteta team that won the FA Cup.
He won it. He was the coach.
Lampard had strikers on the subs, and he wasn't playing them. and you guys spammed a 1-0 win. You played a back 10 for over 60 minutes. You played a back 10 for about 60 minutes. Let's not come and change history.
The fact that you're diminishing it right now nobody cares about
Listen, let me tell. I'll say this. I'll say this. One last thing for me, and we can move on. When we won the FA Cup in 1955, we played Manchester City and we beat them 3-1. 3-1 in 1955. And I'm proud of that because if you can bring up that one with Ateta, I can bring up my 1955 FA Cup.
Nobody has won more FA Cups than Arsenal throughout history.
I don't care about how many times you won.
Arsene Wenger won an FA Cup almost every year. Like I've never won like 6 or 7 FA Cups. He still got ridiculed.
Me too now. Me too. We won. How many years did we win? We've won 6 FA Cups at Newcastle.
We've won 14 or 15. We've won more than anybody else.
My bald fraud gave me an FA Cup before we sacked him. So yes. Yeah. Exactly. He won me an FA Cup. He won me a Carabao Cup. Yeah, what's up?
Let's go back to Chelsea.
Let's go back to Chelsea. Asher, let's go back to Chelsea. Yeah.
Ultimately, like miles and miles more impressive than like winning the FA Cup. We all know it's true. You might lie and say it's not true, but we all know it's true.
All right. Michael, you're right. Michael, it's fine. You're right. Asher, please tell me. Let's go back to your blue coat team. And the whole Chelsea situation.
So, some time ago, last week or last 2 weeks, I saw an interview Bali did, and he said that when he came to Chelsea, they were surprised that they weren't using a lot of data. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I feel like that's one of the things with sports right now, as a whole entity industry in itself, that is bad. Is that now there's a lot of push on data. Of now we do this whole thing where we divide the page into 200 sections and this player is great at this one. There's all of that, and I don't think it takes the fun out of the game, right? So he came to Chelsea and they look at Garnacho and they're like, oh, he's producing this much in this little quadrant here, and let's go and sign him. And it's like, no, because he said he was surprised. He spoke to a scout. And he asked the scout, how do you know if a player is good? And he said, I look at him, I watch him play. Yeah. And he's like, what? You don't look at his data? He's like, no, I watch him play. And he was surprised. So he's trying to do this whole PE thing of private equity where they do everything stats driven and data and all of that. And I think it's ruining the game. I think a lot of other teams are also going to copy it. That's why I don't want them to be successful. Because if we win a FA Cup this year, that means they basically won a trophy every single year they've been here.
That's true.
Which don't say anything, Michael. But this is more than you guys have achieved in the last 5 years.
No, yeah. Okay. So Asher, hold on. So not right now. You have what's his name? Your interim coach is McFarlane, right? Yeah. Of course, he's not going to get the job on a permanent basis. I mean, this is just until the season ends. Like. Is this one? Do you think, as a Chelsea fan, this is just one of those things where you will get, one of these random coaches out of nowhere, like to come and like, who's next?
They're talking about Eddie
Michael, go. I want Asher to speak about Michael. Asher, go first, and Michael.
I have something I feel strongly about this. I'll let Asher go first.
Okay, Michael, go first. You go ahead.
You can come and take Eddie Howe because you guys are saying you want Eddie Howe.
The new ownership and all that, the way they are like treating players like assets, I feel like Chelsea needs to just get back to their whatever I think about Chelsea. They do have a soul. They have like a heart, and like the proper Chelsea. And there's somebody who is associated with Chelsea who we feel like his story with Chelsea is not done. I just feel like it's perfect. He fits the Chelsea ethos to a T. Bring back Jose. Just bring back Jose Mourinho. Let's just.
So here's the thing, right? Like I said before, they're doing this whole data analysis, profit and loss, and everything has to be, that's their goal. Mourinho, any big coach, you bring in any big coach, you bring in even Ateta, and you tell Ateta, oh, go and get Garnacho because he crosses 20 times in a game, and by statistics, the more crosses leads to the more goals. And you tell Mourinho that Mourinho is going to look at you like, are you stupid?
So,
You know?
so that means you need Amorim. That means you need Amorim then, right?
Well, no. I don't even see. That's the thing. I don't even think Amorim will even go for that. Like the coaches that will go for something, because the things that was coming out during Enzo's time was the sports physician would tell Enzo, Rich James has 15 minutes. He can only play 15 minutes. Okay, 51 minutes. No, you need to take him out. You need to take him out. He played on Wednesday 15 minutes. Saturday he can only play 30 minutes. So bring him on in the second half. Oh, he's been running too much. No, he can't play. Oh, Tosin hasn't been playing for 1 year. We need to sell him or we need to loan him, but we need to let him look good. So you have all of these where like they are micromanaging behind the scenes. Who's going to go for that?
I think Amorim can go for it.
No,
honestly, I mean, look, this guy is also still on the market. What's his name? Eric Ten Hag. You can bring him back.
No. We don't think. See, Garnacho is the only United reject we've taken in the last. I don't know. Hold on.
I'm not going to let you talk about. No, I'm not going to let you talk about Garnacho like that. No, I'm not going to let you.
Garnacho. Jordan Sancho.
Huh?
Jordan Sancho. Y'all had Jordan Sancho.
Yeah, but see, we loaned him and we sold him. And like, see, put it this way, Garnacho and Sancho are like the only two United rejects. I as a Chelsea fan can remember us going.
But you gave him a amount.
I mean, it was a gift.
Really? Okay.
We're being generous.
Well, we'll return the gift back with Garnacho. Just make sure I give my 40 million when the season is over. Just my 40 million.
No, I will give it to Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me take some comments real quick.
Ever? That's one more thing. Like, please don't sign Chelsea players. Like, I feel like that's.
Madueke is doing great. Madueke is doing great for you though. Let me take comments. Battle Axe goes, I'm not an Arsenal fan, by the way. I'm a Man United fan. All I'm saying is that Arsenal may become the bridesmaid again, but they're a really beautiful bridesmaid. Hell yeah. I mean, them bridesmaids, yeah. Yemi goes, God bless Chelsea, saved us from the jaws of Garnacho. Exactly. Greatest Argentinian player to ever exist. That bicycle kick, we'll never forget it. Battle Axe goes, the greatest summer in English football history might happen this summer. Blue Co forced to sell off their nonsense project. Man City might get relegated.
Man City are not getting any punishment.
No, nothing is happening to Manchester City. Yeah, that's done. That's done. Let's talk about Newcastle. Raji, I put this topic on, and I thought it was actually a good thing to discuss. You started to go into it a little bit at the beginning, and it says from top 5 contenders to collapse. I don't think it's really a collapse, but what's happening at Newcastle, and I want to ask this within the context of what was it, maybe 3-4 years ago? I'm not sure. You guys got taken over by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. Everybody was excited. It looked like Newcastle. Well, I think it's still factually correct. Newcastle is owned by, I guess, the wealthiest owners ever. So I mean, it's
Public Investment Fund.
Yeah, right. It's one thing to have money. It's something else to you can't just spend money.
Be able to spend it. Yeah.
Right. So what are your expectations going forward, and like what's your assessment of what's happened over the last?
Before we do, I posted a shared my screen real quick. Can you just quickly post that on the screen? I just want to use this. Chelsea, they're looking for new coaches, and everybody's talking about Eddie Howe. I agree that Eddie Howe can leave Newcastle and join Chelsea. He works within your system.
I think you do a better job than you guys.
Huh?
I think you do a better job with us than you guys.
Of course now. Yeah. Of course. That's why I'm saying you should take him. Thank you very much. Just wanted to share that.
Wait, hold on, Raji. So are you you're not Howe out, of course, are you or no?
Well, I'm not how I'm not entirely even sure where I stand, honestly. At the very beginning, if you had asked me in February or March, I would have said I'm definitely not how out.
Yeah.
My Yoruba is taking over my mouth.
I know. That H factor is tough.
That H factor is coming out real strong.
Yeah. How? Yeah.
How? But let me say this. One of the biggest problems we've had this season, and I think that it's beginning to become even clearer every single game, is Eddie Howe knows how to take a mediocre player and bring him up to a fighting chance. He pops them with senses of like confidence and all of that stuff. And it brings them up to that particular point where all of a sudden they're overperforming.
Yeah.
What Eddie Howe doesn't have the skill to do is bring somebody who is skillful already, who already has confidence in themselves, and take them to the next level. And everything started to fall apart. It's like you start to see how that Isak thing started to fall apart. I mean, I was myopic at the beginning of the season about the whole Isak thing. And maybe Isak has more of a story to tell than I gave him credit for. So that's Isak's story. After next season, we'll stop hating on him. Then I'll be able to listen to his story. But it's becoming a little bit prevalent when you think about it. He knows how to bring players from mediocre to
good enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Good enough. But he doesn't know how to take players that are at a higher level to excellent. And if you watch how Walter Matter plays,
yes,
you have to ask yourself, why isn't Walter Matter playing more often?
Yes.
You bring him into the game, he changes the game immediately.
Yes.
Eddie Howe is so fixated on his style of play that, he doesn't have any flexibility to change anything. And I think that's the biggest problem. He has a system. The problem now is that we've had many seasons where the system has been found out. We were found out towards the end of last season, right? We started to lose a lot of games towards the end of the season because teams started to treat Newcastle as, all right, Newcastle is good, so we're going to do a two block, and you break us down. And Newcastle was not able to break us down. Then we go into the summer, we lose our best striker. I can call him our best striker now, not a traitor anymore, because I've thought about the whole situation and maybe we are missing Isak. And the teams don't change how they play with Newcastle. They still think Newcastle is a good team and they do the two blocks. So now, from the very beginning of the season till today, everybody is doing the same thing. They're making it difficult for Newcastle to break. So what does Newcastle do? We continue to play the same style. We're passing to the wings, trying to get the ball in from the crosses. And when Walter Matter was playing there, he could just head the ball in or do something fancy with his feet, create something out of nothing. Now he's crossing the ball to Gordon. He's crossing the ball to Osula. People that don't typically have the ability to do what Walter Matter can do.
Exactly. In the room.
Go on.
I put an elephant in the room, which I haven't pointed out too, is the fact that this is not my opinion. It's widely acknowledged that Newcastle might have had probably the worst transfer window in all of time in the last year. Like the players you brought in for the amount of money you did, your Wissas and your Walter Matters and your Langes, just
in the whole of time.
No. I think that's no.
There's a lot of wide acknowledgement that was you did not spend the Isak funds, but whatever funds you had. Plus, additionally, I feel like there was a whole sense of like when Newcastle hit the lottery and got the Saudi money, it's like, oh yeah, we're about to be the new Chelsea, new city. But the game done changed, and it's like you can't just spend money anyhow. So I think there was a whole sense of like, oh wait, y'all thought you could just spend money and bring the best players.
Yeah,
the thing about it is the game changed because Newcastle.
The transfer market business, what I'm trying to say, has been not the best. So it's kind of
it hasn't. It hasn't.
Bringing your Wissas, this is where you end up.
Well, I agree with you, Michael. It hasn't been the best, but I think I don't think on paper you're right. Wissa scored 19 goals last season.
Yeah, well, this year, what has he done?
He was injured.
I mean, still,
he was injured. He was injured.
Like, losing Isak and going to that level is just like the
I think they brought in Walter Matter before they brought in Wissa, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct, Raji?
Yes, they brought in.
Okay, so you brought in Walter Matter, and I when Walter Matter came in, I actually didn't think that was a bad signing, right?
Yeah.
Was he going to give the same kind of?
He's not being used, like Raji said. He's not being used.
Yeah, and it's not being, and that's my problem. He hasn't why would you bring a Walter Matter? Because he's technical. Walter Matter is technical. Maybe not as technical as Isak was, but he was. I actually think he's as technical as Isak. But then he's not that kind of deadly finisher that Isak was last season. But that was where Wissa was supposed to like give some type of output in terms of actual finishing, goal scoring. Now, did they pay too much for Wissa? I mean, that's debatable. What team doesn't pay too much for players, right? But my problem is, and I think I'm with Raji here, like, why would you bring somebody that is as technical as Voltemada, and you don't even seem like the guy is as tall as Isak was. The guy is technical, at least as technical as Isak was. Now, maybe the finishing is not, as great as Isak's finishing was, but then he's still your best option in that position. You put Harvey Barnes, what's his face? Tony Gordon or Elanga, whatever. Launch the ball inside the box. The man can rifle any center back in the Premier League in the air.
So,
right?
Let me say a couple of things. Number one, Isak. Voltemada is not a striker.
What is he?
Let's get that straight. Voltemada is a number 10.
Since when?
He's a number 10.
I thought Bayern was
number 10. I believe he has the skills to play the 10. I believe he's a striker.
No. Let me see. Am I not the one that's watched Voltemada? Voltemada has the ability to get the ball and create something for someone. Voltemada can create something for himself. But Voltemada is a kind of player where you can get the ball away from the post, turn around and create something very quickly. Voltemada's ideal position is number 10. And the problem for us at Newcastle was we don't have a number 10 position. Newcastle was trying to... Newcastle is...
Play with 3-8.
So we play 3-8. Newcastle has tried to do the 4-2-3-1. But the problem is whenever we put somebody in the striker position, we're always lacking, especially in the midfield.
So what position did you get?
Eddie Howe doesn't want to compromise. What Eddie Howe wants is 3 barraging midfielders that can go into the box and can come back very quickly, right? So he wants somebody like that. What Voltemada fails to do is Voltemada always looks back. He wants to link the play all the time, right? So he wants to link the play all the time. So whenever we're playing, if it was a center forward and we had 2 wingers who could go into the box, that would be great, right? But Voltemada doesn't do that. He's very slower than the strikers we have, and he links the plays better than everybody. So in Eddie Howe's ideal system, Voltemada is going to play as a recess striker or a number 10. But that would mean we're playing 2 strikers. And Eddie Howe's systems does not account for that. And Eddie Howe is not flexible enough to create a system around that. So we are forced to sacrifice Voltemada in every game or play him as a number 8 that goes forward. But when you play somebody who is not fast enough to run into the box, everything breaks up. So it's like the problem has been Eddie Howe's inflexibility, inability to rethink his system, and somebody alluded to Oluyemi alluded to the fact that we had an unlucky summer, but that unlucky summer is only in retrospect because the players we got were for reasons. Who thought that Elanga was going to be as bad as he is when he was doing so well at Nottingham Forest?
Me. Man U fans would have told you.
I could have told you that a long time ago. Let me take comments. Let me take comments and then we'll move on.
Voltemada reminds me of Teddy Sheringham. I was going to say that. Just like
he's another Havertz in this, guys.
Yeah. Oluyemi goes, Newcastle are very unlucky in the transfer window this past season. They went in for loads of players, but never happened. They were linked to Mbomo, Sesko, and Ekitike, etc. Oluyemi again. Voltemada is not a 10. He's more of a 9.5. He plays someone like Xerxes. Battle Axe says Voltemada is as deadly as Isak. He just does not get as many scoring chances because he does not get into those positions as often. As Isak. But when he has a chance, he's as efficient as Isak.
Isak. Go on.
Oluyemi once again. Also, Voltemada has really not been a volume scorer in the past. Yeah, I think at Stuttgart he barely broke into double digits.
But that's my point.
He played well with dynamic forwards that crashed the box with skill plus pace.
That's my point exactly. Is that not the point I was making? You made that point. Yeah, what they need is somebody who can rush in.
Yeah,
Walter Mada does not have that. So one thing you give Isak is Isak has tenacity. Yes. Isak will go against any defender and could be slipping at their legs and all of that.
And he's actually a good presser as well. He used to press well.
Martinelli would be good at Newcastle.
Oh, God.
Who?
Why would you want to find one of the best wingers in the league?
Who did you say would be good at Newcastle?
Gabriel Martinelli.
No, we don't want.
He's the greatest Brazilian winger. Why do you want him to leave Arsenal?
Why would you want to sacrifice him?
I've seen him since 18. I like him.
Incredible player.
Yeah, he's one of the best Brazilian. He's one of the best.
He'll be good at Newcastle. I mean,
if you win the league,
I think Anthony Gordon is going to end up at Arsenal this year.
Look.
Bayern Munich.
Look. Martinelli is one of the best ever Brazilian wingers we've ever seen. Like,
no, that's not true. I love Martinelli. That's not true.
I love Martinelli, and I think he should stay at Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he should. I think is. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next topic. The final.
Let me say something about Newcastle. Right?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I'm trying to understand this. You guys played Chelsea. You played like you're playing a cup final. When you had Barcelona, that you were tied with, then you went to Barcelona and you were tired because you played like a cup final on Saturday. That didn't make any sense to me. I said, okay, you had the opportunity again to put you guys your name in the headlights. You play Arsenal. That one to, I don't know. I don't get Newcastle when it comes to that. In the
I'll tell you,
that you're supposed to focus on, you guys don't focus on it. You're going to focus on another game, and then you control to the big game and you're tired.
So let me explain. Let me even go to that because that's a very good point. Thank you very much for bringing it up, Chelsea player. No. It's a good point. We were beating Karabag 6-1.
Yeah.
And then we had another game with Karabag and we played the full squad. Then after that game, we now went to go and play. I don't remember who it was. Was it Sunderland or whatever?
Yeah.
And then we now lost.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, why are we doing this? This is the problem with the manager. Every game is treated with the same level of equality. Why is a game where you're losing 6-1 against Karabag not a game that you put in all the youngsters and let everybody rest? Right? We have the game against Barcelona. We played the full squad against Chelsea. Then we now have to go and play Barcelona in Barcelona. By the end of the first half, all the players are tired.
Yeah.
They destroyed us. Why didn't Eddie Howe think about that in a scenario where the Premier League is the most important, the championship is the most important thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Eddie Howe,
Reggie, I think that's also I think that's a little bit harsh on the manager as well.
Hey,
I think it's also harsh.
I think that is a good point that Chelsea brought up.
No, it's a good point because you had a chance against Barcelona.
Michael is itching.
Your high line, Barca's high line. You had Gordon. Who else was in the other wing? Lewis Hall and all those other wingers. But they played 90 minutes against Chelsea, and I'm thinking to myself, what point are you trying to prove? You're going to beat Chelsea. Yeah. Gordon is injury prone. He's running 90 minutes up and down both wings. Tonali he was an injured risk the last game, I think, against Barca. But then he played against Chelsea. And I'm like, and he got injured against the Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Let me add something, guys.
Michael, go ahead.
The new Champions League format is really, really hard. As we can see, it's really hard to like play this format and still do well in Champions. We see like Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea. When you have a Champions League schedule, it affects your league form. So the fact that Arsenal have been able to still like make back-to-back semi-finals.
Nobody's talking about Arsenal.
My brother, come on, bro. I don't give you red card before. Don't make me give you another red card.
No, I'm saying we need to look at the big picture.
Brother, we're moving on. Michael, we're moving on.
It needs to be said. That's all.
Final points prediction. Asher, I'm gonna start with you. Who wins the Premier League? Manchester City or Arsenal? Go.
I say City, because unless if Arteta is going to do what Eddie Howe did, you're playing Atletico Madrid. If Atletico Madrid scores first, forget the game. This is the haram ball final. So
yes.
Also,
yes.
if you guys score first, that means you guys have to chase the game for what, another 90 minutes. You have a Premier League game that weekend against Newcastle. Am I right?
Fulham.
No, Fulham.
Are you playing your full squad? And who are you playing?
We're hoping like Leno and Iwobi and them kind of like give us hook us
Really?
up.
And you think you're going to win this season?
I'm picking us to
That's
win.
my prediction.
Well, Michael is not a serious human being. Swear to God. Swear to God. I'm convinced. Brother, this is my first time on a show with you. And I'm like, you know what's crazy? I see you on the group and I'm like, this brother is respectable. And now I'm listening to it and I'm like, what is wrong with this brother? This guy seems like every other Arsenal fan. What is wrong?
Yes, drank the Arsenal Kool-Aid.
We got just drank the Arsenal Kool-Aid, bro.
Kai Havertz is injured right now. Do you play Gyökeres?
Oh, is he?
In 3 games straight.
Wait, Havertz is injured?
Yeah. And if he doesn't play, who's your striker?
I mean, yeah, if Havertz
Yokozuna is the striker.
We got Bukayo Saka back, we got Havertz, we got Eze, the rest is Zubimendi. We beat Atletico 4-0 in the group stages.
You're not beating them now.
Raju, what's the prediction? Raju, what's the prediction? Raju, what's the prediction? Raju, what's the prediction?
I said it before. I said it in February. You can go and look at the tapes. When Arsenal was leading by 12 points and everybody was saying, congratulations, I said Arsenal is not winning. Everybody came in, they were talking about how teams like, by the end of March. I said, look at history. Let's look at history. How many times have Arsenal come second after leading the table? They're going to do it again. Okay, they will do it again.
All right. So thank you, Raju. So Raju, you're saying Man City wins the league?
Yes, Man City wins.
Okay. Michael, what's your prediction?
Arsenal win the league. It's probably going to go to the final day, but like going objectively, like Manchester City have a harder schedule. Arsenal are not in good form. We're not playing that well objectively. All we need to just keep winning 1-0. And
okay, so Arsenal wins it. Are you also winning the Champions League? Just bonus question.
I think we'll beat Atletico. Yes. I don't know if we'll win the final.
2 legs.
Okay, but you're getting
we've beaten Bayern earlier this year.
2 legs or 1 leg, Michael. 2 legs or 1 leg. Are you beating?
Okay, Aya is asking what total points prediction. Michael, what's your total points prediction for Arsenal?
I don't have the table in front of me. I think we'll lose. I think we drop points in 1 more. I think we'll win 4 and like lose or draw 1. I think City win 3 and drop points in 2 games.
Okay,
that's my prediction.
Okay. All right. Let me take some comments over here.
For me, 5 points difference.
All right.
It's not even, there's not going to be questions on the final day. Manchester City would have won the league before the final day.
Oh wow. Okay. Battle Axe says XG tells us a full story about finishing. I actually don't agree with that. XG goes. Battle Axe goes again. City wins the EPL. Arsenal wins.
I'll take that. I'll happily take that. I will happily take that.
Okay. All right. Oluyemi goes. Howe suffers from the same issues he did suffer from in his past club. His team plays with serious intensity. It's almost impossible to achieve this in present times without a big quality squad.
I'm going to add to that. Like I told you before, he has players who are athletic, who can do all of this intensity stuff. Once he starts to add quality players that won't do this stuff, who want to control the game, that's where everything starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
This is the problem he's having right now. He wants Walter Mada with all the skills to be chasing players all over the pitch.
Yeah.
When Walter Mada is supposed to be able to just create stuff, that is the big problem he has. Anyway, let's go on.
Ayo goes, Man City 83 points, Arsenal 81 points. Wallahi, Ayo told me Arsenal was going to win the league. Wallahi, I remember Ayo telling me Arsenal was going to win the league. But it's okay. All right. It says Man City 83, Arsenal 81 points. Is Asher banking?
Arsenal 78 points.
Oh, okay. So, Raji, you're saying Arsenal 78 points, Man City 83 points.
Sunderland finish above Newcastle, by the way. That's my side prediction.
That's good. Happy for Sunderland. Did they win any trophy?
The biggest problem.
It's Arsenal and Atletico who have won once or twice in the last 2 months.
And who did they beat?
Yeah, the one. Yeah, I think they had their first win in Battle Lines. They're talking about La Liga though. Battle Lines. They're talking about La Liga. They had their first win in La Liga yesterday.
But they won. They won against. They won. They did a comeback win yesterday. I watched the game.
Yeah. I watched it too.
This is Simon's last season, right?
Is it? I don't believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. This is Griezmann's last season.
No. Diego Simeone's last season at Atletico?
I think so. They've been rumors about it.
They announced his leaving, yeah.
Okay, all right.
You think you beat them 4-0 previously, and this is his last season to get a big trophy. He's going to come and open yas for you guys.
No, he's not going to open yas. I think we are very capable. We have the better players, and also if you look at the season, I haven't brought this up. If you look at it objectively, like our Arsenal team is built for the Champions League. If you want to like be objective, like this Arsenal team is better built for the Champions League than the Premier League.
What happens when you don't lose? What happens when you lose?
Why are you when you lose? What have you done when you lose? You're so
we won the Carabao Cup last year. That's what we've done.
Nobody gives a shit. The Carabao Cup. Nobody gives a shit about the Carabao Cup.
Nobody gives a shit about Carabao Cup.
I'm moving on.
No need to like.
Brothers, calm down. Arsenal. Kaiser goes. Arsenal to win the quadruple.
That was always a media creation. No Arsenal fan ever said we were going to win it. We wanted
Yes, you did.
That was always a
Yes, you did. Yes, you fucking did, bro. Yes, you fucking did. Yes, you did.
We'd like to, but like nobody has ever won it before. No one thinks this is the best team
Yeah.
of all time.
Okay.
Nobody said we're going to win it. Everybody wants
yeah.
it.
The best squad.
Yemi Akanji goes. Arsenal fans' emotions will dictate the league. If they can calm down and just support without their emotions running hot and cold, they might have a chance.
Do you remember how Michael came into the conversation? I didn't even say anything. He was already attacking me.
He was already attacking you. I was there. I remember. I was there. Yemi goes again. Arsenal fans think they're the only ones that love the team.
Gang up on the Arsenal fans. That's how we all do. That's how the general football discourse.
Michael, just to give you perspective, as a Chelsea fan in Champions League, we won it twice. So I can tell you, when we went into that final against Bayern, we were not the best team. Not a single Chelsea fan will tell you we're sitting there going, oh, we have Drogba, so we are going to score. No, even against City, we had Kante, we had almost a full squad. We still didn't.
Are you saying that you were not built for the Champions League?
Like we had beaten City before, I think somewhere in there. We still didn't go in and say we are going to beat them again. It's a semi-final.
We're not supposed to believe in our team.
We haven't been there before.
The normal way.
You haven't won a semi-final in Champions League. When was the last semi-final you won? Champions League. When was it? Did you watch it?
What year? 2012 or 2021?
The last semi-final in Champions League Arsenal won. When was it?
2006. We beat Villarreal. I'm aware of our history. We haven't done well in Champions League.
And you think that you're going to be number one in the Premiership? You're aware of your history. You think you're going to win the Champions League?
Am I supposed to think we're going to lose? I'm a fan. Am I supposed to?
I think you need to be humble
right now.
Michael, I think
nobody's asked to think their team is going to lose.
Humility.
But we're not asking you to think your team is going to lose. But we're asking you to apply logic based on previous evidence.
Logic. Okay, I've said here like our form in 2026 has not been good. Nevertheless, we've been the best team in the Premier League. Our team is better. Our team has been much better in the Champions League than the Premier League, and we have beaten Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich convincingly this year. So going to the semi-final against Atletico Madrid, I expect us to win as we've done this year because I think we are better than them and they're going through stuff. And so again, there's this whole thing about Arsenal fans. We're supposed to play this.
Arsenal fans are not going through stuff.
We're not supposed to believe in our team, and if we do, we're
all right. Let's move on, guys. Let me take this last comment before we move on to the last topic. Aya goes, yes, I said it, but the info in front of me changed in March, so I changed my prediction. I mean, yeah, whatever. I told you it was going to change. Aya was working for Arsenal.
Aya's info changes as quickly as the Premier League table changes.
We need to up our form. If we keep playing this way, we're not going to win. But I believe our best players are coming back, which is the point I made from the beginning. We have not had our best players at all throughout all season. If we can play our best players, of course we're going to.
Okay. Mike, all right. Let's get to this last comment.
Thank you. Battle Axe 77.
Battle Axe, this ganging up on Arsenal is weird. Someone is boasting about Carabao from last year, but the same person dismissed Arteta winning the FA Cup. All right, let's go to the last question. Last question.
One thing, I did not dismiss Arteta winning the FA Cup. It was the Arsenal fan that dismissed another team winning the FA Cup, saying that Arsenal has won it so many times.
Heroes.
I didn't dismiss any cup. I did not dismiss any cup.
When we do, even though we've won more FA Cup than anybody.
Kudos and donkey of the week. Kudos and donkey. I think Ayo has rephrased this to say heroes and villains. I prefer kudos and donkey still. Asha, we'll start with you. Kudos, donkey. Who's your kudos? Let's start with the good part. Kudos.
So I think Enzo.
Which one?
Enzo
Fernandez. Fernandez or Maresca?
Fernandez. He's a hero because he criticized the club in a way. He's a villain and a hero at the same time because he criticized the club. Everyone said, "Oh, why would he do that?" And then he came and he scored an important goal to take us to the final. So in a way, he sort of won his and be like, "I told you so," So to me, he's a hero for that.
Okay, all right. Michael, who's your hero?
Frank Lampard is my favorite non-Arsenal midfielder in Premier League history. I think, unless
I think he can win you guys the trophy.
I think he's done well as a manager. I think he's gotten a lot of bad rap, but he did well at Derby, even the first time at Chelsea. So I'm happy to see him at Coventry promoted. I'm looking forward to them in the Premier League next year.
Okay. Raji, who's your hero of the week?
I think Harry Kane. Harry Kane is my hero of the week. Their comeback against Mainz this week was incredible. And also the fact that he gave up his hand badge so that the other player, I've forgotten his name, the right back from Bayern could actually lift the trophy. I think Harry Kane has shown himself to be a legend. Yeah. And I appreciate him quite well. So my hero is Harry Kane.
Before we go to Donkey, I just quick. This is a good idea in the comments. Champions League match predictions. So Asher, Atletico versus Arsenal. Who goes through over 2 legs? Who do you think? Quick fire.
Atletico goes through. I don't see you stopping Lookman and Alvarez and Griezmann, who are fighting for their first trophy, their first big trophy before they leave Atletico.
Yeah,
they are hungry. They've been there before. You guys are shaking right now.
Yeah,
they are scared, even playing Newcastle.
Okay. Raji, how about you? Atletico Arsenal.
I mean, I've already said Atletico.
Okay. Of course, Michael goes with Arsenal. The second type, PSG versus Bayern Munich.
I'm looking for Bayern.
Bayern, okay. Bayern goes through. Raji, how about you?
Bayern goes through.
Okay, Michael.
Bayern.
Oh, okay. All right. Before we go to donkeys, let's take the last few comments. Oh crap. All right. Ayo goes, Raji and Michael are showing themselves as people that go at each other in person.
Ironically, we don't.
We actually do.
Really?
We don't.
Yemi Akanji goes, can we get some kudos for Michael Carrick and Bruno Fernandes, please? Let's be calming down. Let's calm down. I don't want to give too many kudos yet. Hurricane KS. I don't know. Oh, Hurricane is a model player. He is. Hero is Forest.
I hate that he wasted so much of his career at that shithole because he could have been one of the goats if he'd been.
Hero is Forest smashing Sunderland. Yeah. All right, donkeys. Raji, we'll start with you. Who's your donkey?
Arsenal. Arsenal is my donkey.
See this Arsenal derangement syndrome we get everywhere.
Arsenal is my donkey of
the league. Semi-finals, you still get this stuff from
Arteta is my donkey of the week. That's
Okay.
that's my
Michael, how about you?
Why are you
Raju
questioning
your
my own
donkey.
opinion?
Michael, Raju your donkey.
I'm like, again, Newcastle don't factor that much in my. I don't think about them on a day-to-day
That's
basis.
good. Arteta is my donkey followed by
My
Arsenal.
donkey again. I'm trying to be objective in terms of just like there's again like I support everything Arsenal does, but a certain player who I don't really understand the rationale behind us obtaining is Noni Madueke, who I really wanted to be a really good player, and I just do not see what he adds to this team. He's beyond set pieces, some set piece prowess, but I just think the way we focused on him in the transfer market, I wish we had spent that energy on bringing somebody else who would be more helpful. That's my donkey of the week, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Asher, who's yours?
I'll give it to our Chelsea owners and then the referees, because there were so many tackles in that game that if you watched, if Caicedo made at least half of those challenges, he would have been given a red card by the 10th minute. But it's all cool. So VAR and ref, I don't know. It's another thing that we always talk about.
Yeah. To Aya's point, donkey is VAR again, another hair pull, and not even a yellow card. Hey, listen. Refs for being so inconsistent. I mean, I heard the championship teams voted to not have VAR next season, and I don't blame them. For me, donkey is for me, donkey and hero are the same person, and that's just Chelsea ownership and executive leadership.
I agree.
Like, I only say donkey for obvious reasons, but hero for pulling the trigger very quickly, because
it wasn't quick enough.
For me, like what is worse than making one mistake is making two mistakes, right?
They already made 3.
And what's worse than making 2 mistakes is making 3 mistakes. My club would have still sat down to be doing performance assessment. They would have been looking and be doing assessment. But Chelsea were like, you know what? Get out of here, bro. And as bad as they've been in terms of decision making, I mean, they had to get him out of there. Go ahead, Michael.
I just want to say Liam Rosenoir, despite we could see there was some talent there. For a black man to make it to that level, I think you could also see like there was some tactical people who in the game said that like he does have the tactical A's and ABCs. So I feel sad that like upcoming promising black brother has had his football management career curtailed because nobody's going to hire him now.
Well, I agree.
We have to say yes, but he couldn't have said no. It was a promotion within the interclub thing.
The jump was too big. Yeah, the jump was too big. It should have.
It was too big for him.
Look at the Arsenal.
Unfortunately, we just like have a promising career. We don't have that many black managers. We have one just cut short.
Then why don't you hire Rosenoir? Why don't they hire him into Arsenal?
Because he's not in like 4 or 5 years, if he's gone through the,
then why should Chelsea keep him?
Well, you don't have to be facetious all the time. I'm just trying to talk.
What game did you see his tactical acumen? What game?
No, I'm saying like
no. He's talking about generally.
For a young black man to get to that point, to go from Hull to Strasbourg, where the fans were happy with him. It's like a black man, you have to work twice as hard to get half as far, right? So for him to even be considered for that position means he had distinguished himself. And yet they over-promote him, and now he's basically like no one's going to hire him at a big job anymore. So we have a potential great black manager. Just kind of like, again, it's great you had the opportunity, but I wish he had.
No, I agree.
Well, Lampard went through the same thing, and he brought the team up from.
I'm talking about black managers here. Right?
Yeah, Lampard also has the white boy.
Rosenoir was doesn't have Lampard.
I know we're talking about black player, and I'm not disagreeing with the premise, but I'm saying that even white coaches have gone through those scenarios where Lampard was like the entitled coach that went to Chelsea. He got fired, and he went to the lower league and rebuild his career.
Is Coventry going to come for Rosenoir? I hope so. I hope he gets a chance to rebuild his career.
I think he's going to.
I think he will. I think he will. Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm going to support him.
If he gets fired by Chelsea, it's almost like it's is a stat pattern for your resume. It's like, oh, I go for it, but oh, you also did. Oh, okay, then you know, come in.
It's like
I'd
we're in a
love to
league
see,
of
I'd
our
love
own.
to see him go for a lower club like a Wolves or something and just rebuild himself. I think there's a really talented manager there. I'd love to see him excel.
What do you see in the talent? I get that he's a black, but what do you see in the talents? That's what I'm trying to
No. I think Asha, what he's talking about is like the people that have worked with him, right, at the lower level of wherever he was coaching, even before he got to Strasbourg, right? They do say that he has some sort of nous to him in terms of tactical coaching and things like that. The point is, when you get to a club like Chelsea, it's hard to see all of that, right? Because there's way too much pressure. So he doesn't. I bet he even had the time to coach. I bet he had. I bet he didn't have the time to coach.
Maresca, right? He didn't even get a preseason.
Yeah, he didn't get anything. And
no one is promoting a black guy unless he deserves it. No black guys are just getting those like roles just because somebody likes them.
That was his choice.
No. Look.
You couldn't say no. How do you say no?
Yeah, that's true. You don't say no to Chelsea. You don't say no to a Chelsea. You don't say no to Chelsea. Yeah, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what stage of your career you're in. If a Chelsea comes calling, you have to say yes. Yeah, and you just hope that you do well, right? But the point is, Chelsea was not the place for him to show any sort of talent that he might have had, and unfortunately, it just means that he has to go back to the lower levels of English football, world football, to rebuild his career and become, like same thing with Graham Potter. Graham Potter, man, is in Sweden, bro. The man is hanging out in Sweden coaching. Anyway,
you can hire Graham Potter if you want to.
Yeah. Oh hell no, absolutely not.
Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta cannot tell when somebody needs to get a red card.
Okay. All right, boys. We're gonna end this. We are going to end it. Gentlemen. We are going to. Raji is a bully. Raji, you are a bully. Raji, you are a bully.
Focus on 12th place or whatever y'all are doing.
We're 14th. We're going down to 17th. Don't worry.
All right, boys. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining, Michael. It was a great time with you. I appreciate you joining on. Nice to meet you. Hopefully, we can meet in person.
I
appreciate the conversation.
And Arsenal being at home watching us what lifted.
Well, chat, thank people in the chat. Ayo, Battle Axe, Kaiser, Yemi, and Yemi Akanji as well. Thank you all for joining, making it fun in the chat. We shall see you next weekend.
Bye, guys.
Peace, guys. All right, bye y'all.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see.